So today at work, at an undisclosed place of business, someone walked in the front door, looked at me, and said, "Hey, do you sell fake piss?" And I said, "I've got real piss every couple hours or so, but it's not for sale." and she just
missing out on all that
she
money.
just kind of puts her head down and walks back out the door and mutters a curse word on her way out of the building. And I've never been approached like that by a stranger in my life. Is that normal?
Well, no. I've been in a very similar situation at the same place with the same question. And I responded with, no, but I've got a surefire way for you to pass that drug test. And they, hook, line, and sinker. Oh, yeah? What is it? I'm like, don't do drugs.
They was ready to spend their money.
Just say no or get some fake pee-pee. Hey everybody, my name is Dane Holland, and nasal spray is the closest thing to real magic that I think I've ever experienced.
I'm Austin Shazam Pfeiffer, and I've only been able to taste or smell for 24 hours.
I'm Marcus Whitaker, and I'm Electrolyte Man because I've been drinking a lot of Gatorade.
I'm Tiny. I'm the newbie.
Yay!
Go, Tiny!
The rooster is not with us here today, so our good friend, dare I say one of our best friends, Tiny, is here with us this evening. He's one of us, so it'll be wonderful. He is one of the grapes of this wonderful grapevine, which wouldn't make any sense if I didn't say the name of the podcast first and someone had never listened to this before. So this is a podcast. It is Nerd It Through the Grapevine. It is where four best friends gather weekly to talk about our favorite parts of past, present, and future nerd culture. And I rattled that off pretty well for us not recording in a while. So
I can't remember the last time we did.
Pat on my back, get him off. I don't know any Patricks. No, that's a lie. I do know some Patricks. No, there's a couple that I know, both fiction and real. I'm going to talk about something. What was it?
The song by the Beatles?
They have a song called What Was It?
No, something.
She moves.
I'm a Beatle, and I sing songs about nothing and something. Which one is that?
Paul McCartney.
That's Paul.
Spot on.
Spot on, Paul? Yeah. All right. Well, this is
You're
Paul.
totally the Paul.
Am I?
Yeah.
I think you've told me that before. I think it makes me feel good, but I don't listen to enough Beatles to know if it should. This week on Nerd It to the Grapevine, Dane talks about female lead roles in like movies, video games, books, and all of that stuff. And the reason I want to talk about it begins with Rey Starwar. You're familiar with Rey Starwar, also known as Rey Palpatine.
Mary Sue Walker.
Spoiler alert.
I know who you're talking about. Played by Dan Aykroyd, one of the Ghostbusters.
Yeah, the WWE wrestler. Oh, Mysterio. I'm thinking of Mysterio. So Rey from Star Wars. She was the first like female character in fiction or anything that I grasped to in the concept of that character and actually felt like very relatable with her as a character. And most of the time before this character that Daisy Ridley played in Star Wars, there was always this disconnect that I had, and I think it's probably just that stereotypical like, oh, it's not a straight white dude. What do I have in common with this person? So I don't have any connection there. But for some reason, like her character opened up this entire other universe of characters that I now relate to in like lead female roles. With Rey, she's a lost scavenger basically on this planet, away from her parents and like no family, no friends seemingly. She's a loner in this place, just looking for purpose. And she's not over sexualized, so there's not that disconnect there happening for me. She's just a pure character in the way that they created her, and she kind of keeps that throughout the whole series. Like, she does battle with these inner demons of the dark side of the Force, and her lineage being like Palpatine, but she opened up an entire other universe for me to latch on to female characters and really enjoy what they bring to whatever medium it is they're in, because there are also video games like Horizon Zero Dawn, Austin, that you played recently a lot of. Alloy, the main character Alloy in that, amazing character. She's so cool, and I would rather play as her in that game than any other male counterpart that I can ever think of. And I think without Rey and without that emotional attachment I have to that character, I don't think I would have given Horizon Zero Dawn as much of a chance, because it's like I said, it's not some straight white dude that's the character that I am portraying, as in this game and walking through in the game like that. And I crave that, like, that strong female character that's not stereotypical, in the same way that just like a white dude, action film hero would be a stereotypical character too. Yeah. I don't know if you guys have ever had something similar to that, or can kind of understand where I'm coming from, because it honestly makes more sense for me to identify more with a character like Rey, because she's not like some super jacked character. She's fairly small, like thin. I'm small and thin, and she's not seen. She is a powerful person in the Force, but that's more of like a spiritual, thing. It's not like a physicality thing. And just her kindness and genuine like wanting to help. Like, I don't know. I think it makes sense that I connect so much with that character, but for it to have such an impact elsewhere, like, I was not expecting that whatsoever, for something like that to carry over to so many other different mediums. Like,
so you don't think she's hot?
Oh yeah, she's gorgeous, but
that's
not. No, honestly,
I'm so interested in everything about this wonderful main character.
Honestly,
she's kind of hot.
No. Honestly, like, that part like has nothing to do with it. Like, and that's what's super cool. Like, because when I like realized that, I was like, wait, I don't just like this character because she's pretty. Like, and I know it's like a made up fictional character, but I mean, it's Star Wars, so for us, it's not really that fictional. Like, it has so much realness.
I don't know. I don't want to come off as like
do it
weird,
please.
But I don't know. I don't know if I've ever had a problem identifying with characters that didn't look like me necessarily. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, I mean, Princess Leia to me is, she precedes Daisy Ridley, or
looks just like you too.
Yeah, you guys do have a lot of.
Especially with those headphones on.
Absolutely.
I was like, are y'all talking about Carrie Fisher right now? I look like Carrie Fisher?
I've never been more attracted
Wow.
to you.
Yeah. You mean the old lady version, though, right? I look like the old lady version of Leia.
That's my favorite version.
But no, I'm actually, I don't know. It's interesting. I would like, maybe you'd have to prompt me to get more out of me, because I've already stumbled all over it. But I feel like it's never been too terribly hard for me to relate to characters that didn't look like me. I just think that, the studio machine that's putting out blockbuster movies all the time, that's their job. I think they do, they want to cast pretty people. They're trying to cast the everyman, and that's what Luke is. He's everyman.
Yeah.
He's all of us.
That's what I like the most about Batman Returns, the Tim Burton sequel to his original Batman movie. It's the one featuring Michelle Pfeiffer as the Catwoman, and I absolutely, as a kid, I was like into her story because I understood it. It had the make-believe, I'm dead in the alleyway, all these cats are going to reincarnate me into this more feral creature kind of thing.
That happened to me 2 weeks ago, so I need to watch that again, so I really have something
my
to
problem with a lot of the strong female characters that I've clung on to in the past they hot.
Flawless.
They hot. You know, they're most.
But what's wrong with that?
And there's really nothing wrong with that.
But I mean, there is an argument for over sexualization and things
Yeah.
like that. I
Oh,
think.
absolutely.
But yeah,
And I think that
actors are going to be prettier, y'all.
Yeah.
They're going to be prettier than
I
most
think
of us.
I think that Gal Gadot in Wonder
Oh,
Woman
amazing.
was just
Amazing.
I think that her character is by far the best of the DC renditions that we've got in the Snyderverse going on, or whatever it's called. I don't know what it's called. I'm going to call it that.
That's just the DCU or DC
Universe. I don't know.
Young Theater Universe. It's
DC
not theater.
DCCU.
DC Cinematic Universe.
Yes,
Boom. Killed
there
it.
we go.
Got it.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
Gal
bad.
Gadot was another example of kind of that Rey, not the same style of character, of course, but like just they made her relatable, like and epic, and that came after Rey and The Force Awakens. So, and I don't know if I would have connected. I just see Rey as this moment of clarity for me. And that's a reason why I'm
Maybe
like,
because it was Star Wars too. I mean, maybe because that's the first female lead in like your favorite thing, Star Wars.
You gotta give it to
because I loved Alien when I was young, and that's a female lead, and it was amazing. You know,
Yeah.
like who's going to talk
Ridley.
trash about that?
Oh, Ridley.
Yeah.
She was a beast.
Well, it's kind of cool that, you know, like the market is so oversaturated with big, strong male leads that it's
yeah.
really cool to see a female take the reins. I can't say that I relate to the character so much, but it was just really cool to see another perspective because the movie was more. There was a lot more strong emotional ties as opposed to the original trilogies because they were more from a man's perspective, in my opinion. So it was really cool to see it kind of almost through her eyes.
yeah, it was a good twist on a familiar story, I think. But they didn't drive home the fact that she was a woman.
Well,
like
that's what I was about to say. That it didn't seem to be pandering, at least in the movie. I do
Right,
know a lot of
right.
people were critical of like of Disney and what Kathleen Kennedy and all those people, you know, of how they marketed the movie and stuff like that. But I mean, as far as the material itself, didn't seem to be pandering.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's Star Wars. This is the most egalitarian, you know, inclusive fictional world we've ever created. It's amazing. Like I don't get the disconnect really. I don't know.
I would like to have a sidebar on the Wonder Woman discussion. I probably had a little bit too much connection to the character because of this theme song that went along.
Ooh.
Because you could have a marshmallow rolling down a grassy hill, and I will think
Hold on,
that
let
thing
me
is.
visualize that.
Are you talking about Wonder Woman in the movie?
Yes.
That's gonna be
She has the
sticky.
best action music I've ever heard any action star ever have. It is the most rowdy shit. Dude, it's so cool.
the
I
electric guitar coming
yeah.
in. Like,
Oh, it's so good.
I mean, the
have
guy
to
that did
watch
the
this
Mad,
movie now.
the guy
you
that
haven't seen Wonder Woman?
I've
Hold
not
on.
seen Wonder Woman.
Well,
He's
I'm
the new
even
you.
Actually, I think I have seen Wonder Woman, but I'm talking about in the
Batman v
vs
Superman?
Yeah, that's her.
Dude, her
that's her theme.
music is
Super dope.
amazing.
So you have seen that.
The same people, the same guy did Mad Max soundtrack that did her.
Dude, he nailed it.
And I can hear like the Sand Marauders with their giant oversized speakers and their blood guitars just
I love that scene so much where Homeboy's like tied up to the front of it.
just yeah,
Back
it
and
is.
forth.
Ah man,
Yeah.
that's what I
so hard.
that's what I
About to
imagine.
have 45 minutes of just that.
Just me just making Gus sounds with my mouth and everybody in the back. Oddly enough, that's what gets everybody pumped.
And then, like with Ray's theme, you're mentioning how epic like Wonder Woman's is. With Ray's theme, it's more like of this like kind of dream state light, like da 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 da, and it's just this nice little ring to it. But as the series goes on, that same music is implemented in this more orchestral, like epic version as she becomes more powerful and grows, and you can still hear it just a little bit in there, like it's still influenced by it. And yeah, seeing John Williams like make and do scores it's amazing. It's breathtaking to see what that man, because he's created this sound we're gonna know forever.
And that many people will try to recreate and expand upon.
If you
and-
look up his catalog, there are more.
Was he in the July issue? Because I think I've got
No. The Christmas Sears and
19
Roebuck.
I thought it was August.
Okay.
No, the Christmas one. That's when the toys are in there, and then you say, "I want that, I want that, I want that, I want that." It's all Power Ranger stuff. No, if you look at up the catalog of like John Williams' music, I don't think that any of the movies that he did music for had a flop. I think that
And when all of it's become iconic too.
Yeah.
Like,
basically it's like listening to Queen.
or like more accurately,
I've never heard one of her speeches
it
before.
would be like Beethoven or like, because like, you know how many people were making music back when Beethoven was like doing his thing?
No.
I don't either, but a lot. But we don't learn about them. You know, like we only learn about Beethoven and like 4 other guys, and that's like classical music.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to be like in the future with John Williams. It's like, oh, you want to learn about film music? Here's John Williams, and then like 3 other people.
Hans Zimmer
Yep.
would be one of those as well.
Maybe, I don't know.
Danny
He's great.
Elfman.
I love it.
Danny Elfman. He's going to be there. Hey,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
how dare you?
I'm just kidding. Just
Jim
kidding.
Belushi.
What? No, hold on. What has
Howard
Jim?
Shore. Howard Shore.
Who?
Sorry.
What has Jim Belushi scored?
Stand
Blues
by
Brothers,
your-
bro.
He
That's-
scored that movie?
No.
Did it have a
Loving
score?
Arms to cling to. That's what they sang in Blues Brothers.
It was also Rawhide.
Hot
That's
Rod?
true.
Ride 'em in Rawhide. Ride 'em in Rawhide.
No, you,
You
gotta
let it
no.
go.
I need
You
you to
can't take a
no,
deep
no.
breath
Finish
and
that
a
It
thought.
was a
Air.
thought from earlier that would have fit earlier. It's not going to fit now.
Bring it now.
Just ram it inside.
I could edit it in from earlier when it would make sense.
Don't even edit it in.
not gonna edit it anywhere.
That's why I'm not going to say
It's
it.
gonna happen. Tell me the thought. You breathed in
Well, I was
because
just
you were
gonna
so
say
excited.
because when you started your topic, I was thinking about like I was trying to think of like, okay, examples of characters that weren't like me, maybe sexually, religiously, or gender wise. You know, I was trying to think of examples of characters who I really identify with and stuff that are just like I was trying to think of the most opposite person of me that I like.
E.T. the extraterrestrial.
I was actually thinking there's this movie with Ewan McGregor who played Obi-Wan Kenobi and
Hello there.
Jim Carrey. It was called I Love You, Philip Morris.
Oh yeah.
And that movie is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
And I love it so much. I love both of those characters.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I think that's a pretty good example. Like, I don't know. I've just never felt that it changes my enjoyment of the movie per se. Maybe they're not my favorite character because, you know,
Right.
I think we tend to like characters who are more like us.
Right.
That's why I watched so much stuff with Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yeah, you guys are like identical.
Same. Exact same. Like you look at me, you look at him, you're like, man, I can see it.
Well, I think there's a difference in and how I would relate to a female role. It's more of like also my obsession with that character too. Like it went way beyond. And again, it's not to do with her being an attractive female. Like it's just what that character is. Like her being taken from a desert planet and flying over a beautiful like rainforest planet, and her just being like, "This is the most green I've ever. I didn't know this much green existed in the galaxy." And then that moment happens. It's just like I don't know. Like that stood out to me so much. Of like, I guess they just did such a good job writing her character and the delivery of everything that she did.
It's just like whenever we traveled to through Missouri and everything was so flat.
It's so flat.
It's so flat. And we're from the hills of Appalachia. So we're used to everything being hills and mountains. So we get over to flatland and we're like, that grain silo has been coming at us for 35 minutes.
Yeah.
No wonder they're not scared of snow.
I felt like
and
when-
we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just have to have it on flat ground.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They don't
Jerks.
die when
Bunch
they
of idiots.
Big dummies.
try going up a frozen hill in my Honda Civic
Oh, yeah.
when I was young.
No,
Can't do it.
I'm not. Well, I know I can't do it because I don't have your Honda Civic, and I'm also not a young, inexperienced idiot driver.
But I'm interested in this because I feel like, especially with the new Rise of Skywalker movie, Leia is like that female Jedi from the original trilogy all the way to the end, and it's like, I don't know. It's just like, why is Rey better to you than Leia?
I think a lot of it had to do with Leia's relationship with Han and how much that was a part of the story during the original trilogy. Because with Rey, there was no
wasn't
physical
arm-candy.
relationship there
Yeah.
until the very Ben's last moments.
Gotcha.
And I think without there being this focus on relationship, because
There
with
was
Han
that
and
kind of
Leia,
who's going to get the girl in A New Hope.
Yeah, and they did
Who's
away
gonna
with
get the
that.
princess, yeah.
Right. They did away with that. I mean, there were fan theories about like, oh, what about Finn or Poe? Like, are they going to be blah, blah, blah. But the movie doesn't lead you in that direction whatsoever, and it doesn't even lead you in that direction with Kylo and her. Like until
Yeah,
it does.
which is why I think that was so weird.
I wanted
kiss,
Finn
yeah.
and Poe to be a thing.
Yeah, me too. That'd been great. But yeah, the kiss at the end was so strange and didn't seem. And I have such that obsession with that character and that understanding of that character that when that happened, I had to make it make sense. It wasn't natural. Like it didn't feel natural.
Probably from the dark side of the Force.
Unnatural. That's funny. That's a good joke.
Yep, right off the top of the head.
Yeah.
That actually
Go
makes
Ray.
sense.
Does it make sense?
Yeah.
I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Yeah, sure. You know
Because
what?
I don't even think really George decided that Leia was like gonna be like Jedi. Like she was
Right.
obviously Force sensitive or whatever because the Force runs strong in the family.
Mm-hmm.
But
Was he decided that they were siblings in the first movie?
I don't think so.
I don't think
Whether
so.
he claims to or not. I mean, I don't think you could have that awkward of a kiss.
Well, originally, George Lucas only wrote A New Hope. He didn't write Empire Strikes Back. And there was no mention of siblings in the actual novel. That came into play in Empire. So, and it was written by David something. So he's the
Kasdan?
one that...
I thought
yes.
Kasdan.
No.
Lawrence
no.
Kasdan? Because he wrote
I think...
the new ones too.
No, it was definitely David something. I can't remember. It's been a good minute since I've
I know who
seen.
you're talking about.
Joel
But
Schumacher.
anyway, he's the one that decided that they were to be siblings.
But then I think afterwards, like George, like because he was planning on doing 7, 8, and 9, which is there's some new book out. Anyway, we get into this later. This is a whole another topic. I feel like we're straying.
Oh yeah. Well, we're still in the Star Wars universe at least, but yeah, that had nothing to do with my actual topic, which was
Well, it does because in my mind, because he was, he had plans for Leia and Luke
yeah.
for going on after Return of the Jedi, and I think it would just be really cool if Leia had. I don't know. I wish she'd had a little bit more of a story in the new trilogy, especially.
She was the
and
best
in
part of
old
Return of the Jedi.
one. Leia,
Yeah.
arguably. She did kill Jabba. Pretty cool.
She did kill him with a chain. That was off the chain.
It was.
Choke the Hut.
She another Star Wars character just to throw in there just real quick before the end of this that I'll spend a whole topic sometime on. Ahsoka from the Clone Wars animated series. Phenomenal character. Another one that handled similar to Rey in ways. And that's another character that I just absolutely fell in love with. Just even more than any because I mean, love Obi-Wan, love Anakin and stuff, but not the attachment I have compared to her.
She got weird hairs.
To Ashoka?
Ahsoka.
But what are you saying, though? Is that
Yeah.
who you're talking about?
Yeah, Ahsoka. Yeah. Ahsoka Tano.
Right.
Yeah,
I was
great
just clearing
character.
that up.
Another one. Yeah, thanks for clearing that up.
She had weird hair.
Great hair, cool hair,
Weird hair.
tail hair.
Is it hair?
Well,
Or is it like
no,
blubber?
sure.
I think it's
Ooh.
tentacle monster hair.
Tentacle monster blubber hair. That's what she's got. Maybe that's why I love it.
I bet it would be soft.
Maybe I'm into tentacle stuff. I don't know. What
No,
does
no,
that
no,
mean?
no, 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 no,
You've
no.
What?
learned something
No, no,
about
no,
What?
yourself.
no, no, no,
She has
no, no.
tentacle
Seen her
hair.
blubber. Her
Maybe I
blubber
like
is so
tentacle.
good.
No.
What are we talking
I'm
about?
not ready.
No.
No.
Okay. I'm gonna make you go second because you're the guest.
Yay.
Welcome.
Be
Yeah.
our.
Okay, so
Go on.
go on. Okay, my topic is EDC.
Who?
Everyday carry, for those not in the loop.
Everyday what?
Everyday carry. It's what you carry with you every day.
Oh, okay.
I know 3 of us. I don't really know you that well, Marcus, but I know the other 3 of us. We're BCBs. We're bag carrying boys.
Yep.
And they go everywhere with us every day. So, what are things that you like to carry with you that you feel like, you need that might be unusual or what have you?
Why is everyone looking at me?
Because he looked at you when you asked you the question.
just looking
That's how
around.
questions work.
Yeah. So I don't carry a bag. I'm kind of the whatever's can fit in my pockets, but I always have more pockets than you
The
think.
average bear.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's still your EDC. It's just everyday carry. You don't have to have a wonderful man bag.
Yeah. No, I've been known to carry a journal around, like in a hidden pocket, a lot. It depends. I mean, it depends on what I'm doing. If I'm going somewhere, I might bring some crazy stuff. I've been known to bring fossils in my pockets, places that I go.
Heck
What?
yeah.
Wait, what? Like from
fossils.
Are you selling watches on the side?
No.
You open up your jacket.
No, like actual fossils
Hey,
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, fossil watch isn't that
of
weird?
like ancient dead creatures
hey,
in my
girl,
pockets.
you got the time? I do.
you know,
And just have just
now
a
and
jacket
then.
full of fossil watches.
All different time zones.
Do you want to explain why that you carry a fossil sometimes? Or does it just bring you good fortune?
They are ancient, dead, like organisms that used to be alive.
It's very cool, yes.
Yeah, I mean, a little necromancy here and there. You know, never hurt anybody.
Yeah. Yeah, very true.
I mean, I feel like I'm a step behind because I don't carry them at this point.
What have I been missing out on?
Right?
I mean, it's not often. It's for special occasions.
Okay.
Definitely special occasions when magical rituals need to happen.
That's similar to mine. I'm always carrying a knife. Always have a knife. Sometimes more than one. Sometimes more than two.
Well, I mean, that's not unusual, though, because 2 is 1 and 1 is none.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm looking for something like outside the norm. Like we all carry
Guitar picks.
you know, knife,
I
phone, keys, wallet.
I carry a ton of guitar picks, more than a person should carry. I carry probably 12 guitar picks in my coin pocket. You know that little pocket above your normal pocket in your pants? I call it a coin pocket. I don't know what it's
it
for.
useless
It's a watch
pocket.
pocket.
It's a watch pocket? Okay, that's where I put all my guitar picks. You don't need 12 guitar picks, but I have them.
I used to take my guitar everywhere, but you can't, you know, like actually wear that on you or in a bag. But I used to take it everywhere. But then it started to fall apart, and it was a nice guitar, so I had to quit doing that kind of.
Yeah.
Wear and tear.
Yeah, you mentioned like bag carrying boys. It's like 100% behind you is a Rubbermaid tub full of backpacks.
I know, I've
And
seen that.
in my room was another like 4, and there are a few bags that I just love having a backpack.
We're not in your room. We're in
'Cause
your
it's got all
studio.
this- we are in my studio, but in my room, the other room.
Make it sound like a bunch
With
of
all the
hacks.
backpacks.
Yeah, I know.
Don't ever. He tells you, "Hey, go into my room and get into the backpack." You're like, "I don't accept this quest. I don't. Is this crucial to the main story? I don't accept. I don't accept
You
it.
never know what you'll find in there.
More backpacks.
Yeah, that's true.
Or maybe a magical item that will
because
help you
I
on
have-
your quest.
Because
That's the magical item I found in your backpack.
get it,
It helped me on my quest.
get it, because it's sexual.
It sounds just like my sister's room.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Jesus Christ.
I don't think it's anything.
Somebody answer that phone.
Oh man.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Who else has got something weird that they carry on?
Other than that,
Cowbell.
Cowbell?
I carry a cowbell.
he does. He honestly carries a cowbell.
Gotta explain that one if I explain my necromancy.
Okay. Do you know how many times that song Fear the Reaper comes on and there's always some
Idiot.
yes, thank you. I wanted to say a cuss word. Yeah, some idiot goes, "Oh, we need more cowbell." It's like, that was funny the first time I heard it. So I pull out my cowbell and I hand it to them and force them to play it.
It's pretty epic, though.
That is the only purpose.
People need to be put in their place every
That
now
makes
and
me
then.
want to get one of those whistles from the Cracker Barrel that you go that just sounds like a bird, and you go, has a little slide on it. You know, the little slide whistle, bird whistle thing. I want one of those, so the next drunk bastard that yells "free bird," it's either that or a brick. And I promise you, I have had these thoughts in my head while I'm on stage, learning all this music to try to entertain somebody, and they just want to be a dick and just scream "free bird." Yes, I can play it. Do I want to? I don't have the time.
You just need to write the word "bird" onto a brick. Yes.
And now it's
Yeah,
become, even if there's not a drunk person that's like so drunk that they're going to yell "free bird," now there's people who are going to be like, "Hey, this is a funny joke. Free bird." Like, you know, like actually trying to be funny by doing it.
I've
Like
given
making
myself
fun
a
of them
headache.
at the same, but even that's not funny.
Bringing that up in general has given me a headache now. So
Yeah, let's quit. I'm done with this podcast.
I mean,
Do I have permission to put my hand on you in condolence?
Do it.
my headache feels better.
He
No.
nodded in a
Oh my
sense.
God, are you a faith healer?
Now I'm jealous.
I am a man of the cloth.
Wow.
That's on his Tinder profile.
I mean, I
Along
married
with
that man and his wife.
He only
so
has a
it's-
washcloth above his jug. I'm a man of
It's
this
a
cloth.
terry cloth.
Okay, fine. I didn't know you had names for them.
I do. All of them.
I carry a fountain pen and a little a traveler's notebook. For those who don't know what a traveler's notebook is, it's different from your ordinary notebook. It's simpler. It's a leather bound cover, and inside that is a stretchy like piece of cord that's tied through the spine. And when you pull the cord out from it, you can slide papers inside of the notebook. And then whenever you release the cord, it tightens up in the middle of those pages. So it's like a temporary binding for the pieces of paper in the notebook. So you can constantly be filling it with different papers and things like that. And they've also got these little attachments that you can hold your passport. So they call it a traveler's notebook. And you can just add all these neat little things to it. And there's a lot of attachments. And it's one of my favorite things. And I've been telling Tiny that I was going to make him one. And I've even got the stuff for it sitting right there to do it. And that was probably 4 months ago that I was like, hey, man, I'm going to make you one of these because I love it.
Conservatively.
I've always got my fountain pen with that. And I've talked about fountain pens before and how much I love those. I'm trying to think of something. Right now, the weird thing, I guess, is nasal spray. Because my allergies,
In
are really
my
messing with me.
backpack, I will always have nasal spray. I will always have an additional knife to what I'm carrying on me. I will always have additional batteries for vapes, even though I don't use them. I know people around me will. I will have probably a change of underwear. That's something that I always...
This is a real fear of
I
his.
always have an extra pair of shorts in my car and an extra pair of underwear in my backpack just because I'm not having to drive home again from an oopsie daisy.
Wait, you don't have
And he
a
has
car
lots of those.
Yeah.
You don't have a car bag?
I do, technically, right now, just because I haven't taken my gym bag out. But
You
Well, I
name
mean-
your bag Jim. You name your cloth Terry. This is
Yeah,
This
we-
is
we
interesting.
name all the
I need to
things.
start naming more things.
Well,
Not a
wait.
base
Well,
name.
now y'all know who the most practical of the four are. Because I carry fossils and he carries a cowbell. You carry changes of underwear and probably deodorant and batteries and all these things.
We'll see. The question originally was weird things, and then we transitioned to normal things.
I just don't see that it being normal for a person to plot for poop in their pants.
Absolutely normal.
Is that normal?
Absolutely normal.
I just don't know.
Carry
many-
undies.
Well, not for me, but for people.
Oh yeah, I'm never gonna poop my pants.
Well, no, I'm
That's
not
what you
saying
sound
that either.
like right now.
All
I've
right.
had to ditch some, you know.
All right.
He wears 4 pairs, so he's like an onion. He just peels them off.
I still haven't.
I just buy cheap underwear.
I haven't got to join that club yet. I haven't
know-
pooped my pants yet, and I have to do that at some point.
When I did
I know.
that at work, and I just I was wearing, number one, it was cargo shorts, so you know that khaki material's thick.
There's so much capacity to hold things, and you gave a little too much.
It made it through my underwear. It made it through my pocket. It made it through the shorts. It made it onto the chair.
My God.
It was a spray. It wasn't an accidental oopsie daisy. It was a.
Was it kind of like when you get the Windex and you get it between the stream and the mist? Was it like that, or was
No.
it like little drops?
Stream.
Just straight
Full,
stream?
full stream.
It was like a laser.
He sent me a text that said, "Well, it finally happened." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And then a picture of his underwear that he had thrown into the garbage. Oh, it was so bad.
Oh, it was ruined. It looked like somebody dumped like a thing of baby food peas in my pants. And the thing is, though, I just took my underwear off and threw them away in the garbage can at the shop. And then I drove home on a towel because I didn't want to touch it to the seat.
Oh, baby, and night.
And oh my gosh!
It's just
and
imagine you floating home.
And that's when I decided I would never be without an additional pair of pants, because I should have drove home naked, because I had to sit in the cold wetness that was my diarrhea.
I've never had the pleasure of doing that to myself, and I feel like that's got to be a moment in my life that I need to.
Inhuman.
I know. I need
trust
to.
you.
I need to get there before it's involuntary. Because at that point it's not funny or an oopsie. It's more of like, now I'm getting old. I want it to happen while I'm still
Elasticity will go, man.
young and free.
It's a lot like getting a hug from a good friend you've not seen in a long time, only more sticky.
I can just see it. Well, hello, old friend. You've come again.
Darkness, my old friend. I'm here to sit with you again.
We have once again reached the it's just nerd stuff and farts.
That's all you get.
Oh,
We apologize. I'm
I
sorry
don't
about that.
apologize.
Tony,
I said
I'm
we.
sure you guessed that your EDC conversation would end up with pooping in our pants, right?
I mean, always.
You knew that's
always.
where that would go.
Bags
Perfect.
lead to poops.
Welcome to the show, everybody. One of you flip an imaginary coin to see who goes next. That's the strangest way to flip a coin I've ever seen. Oh no, you flipped it with your fist and then flipped it with fingers. If you both... Oh!
I'm going to talk about snacks.
Wait, you lost.
It's okay. Go ahead.
They played paper, rock, scissors, and
I won. I'm just letting everybody know.
Yeah. You guys do the same thing. What, 3 times?
I know, it was pretty
3
epic.
times.
We were on the wavelength.
That was a mental battle right there. We were in each other's heads.
This is a segment I like to call snacks. You remember these? And this is going to be snacks that I had as a child that are no longer available.
Oh, extinct snacks.
Extinct snacks.
Marcus might have a fossil of one of these that he carries around with him
If
every
you've
day.
got some freaking Dunkaroos in your pockets,
back.
I know. I just saw that.
Oh, okay. I thought that was on your list. I was like, lies.
No.
Are they?
No, they
They are on your list.
They are.
Strike it from
No,
the
but
record.
No, but no.
Strike it from
I'm not.
the record.
They just brought them back, though. I'm saying how long they stayed gone and what kind of power we have as consumers to bring these things back if we like them enough.
I'll put the pen away.
Thank you. I started this off with Butterfinger BBs because Butterfinger BBs
amazing.
brought the best part of the Butterfinger to a manageable level of tooth decay. Because it like taking a bite of a Butterfinger will get every molar in your mouth just caked with that peanut butter toffee brittle thingy that it is made out of, this crispy thing. But the Butterfinger BBs, you can just put them in there, let the chocolate melt off of them, and then just crunch, and you're good for another Butterfinger BB. But sadly, those were discontinued in 2006, and those have not came back.
Was it because people were shooting them out of their Red Ryder?
BB guns?
Yeah.
No, way too big.
I thought it was because they were terrible.
No, they were not.
I mean, it's like Whoppers. Whoppers aren't good. It's like a little piece of dry, dehydrated cardboard inside of a chocolate shell. But for some reason, I crave this cardboard. Yeah, I know. Why do I like them?
Malt
I don't know. I
powder.
think they're my dad's favorite
Yeah,
candy.
I hate that malt.
Malted.
Yeah.
I love malts.
They're my dad's favorite
drinks.
candy, so I think that's why, because I like seeing him eat it for so long. Like, I know they're not that good, but for some reason I love eating them. I don't know why.
Anya can only look at you now.
The second thing that I have on my list, Doritos 3D.
Yes.
Does anybody remember Doritos 3D?
It's like if Doritos were more air.
I actually
than-
didn't like those.
It's like
They were
Doritos
so
3D.
good.
they were such like flavor explosions. They were super strong.
They were
Maybe I just had
closer.
a bad bag because I feel like the air inside of them had a flavor to it, and it was like musty.
They to me, Doritos 3D were closer to, like, the chip themselves were closer to a bag of chips than an actual chip, because a bag of chips is normally like a third air
Yeah.
and 2/3 chip.
Yeah.
And that's basically what Doritos 3D were. They were the chip bag of chips,
Yeah.
which was, I was fine with it because they came in those cool little cans.
Yeah. And you can keep stuff in them. They became pencil holders for me.
And fart cans for us as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
course.
That and
Of course
Pringles
they were.
cans. Fart cans exist, just in case you didn't know.
Yeah, you can fart into a Pringles can and put the lid on it, and then a few minutes later it'll still be there, and you can release it upon somebody and their poor soul.
Dunkaroos.
We
are,
talked about farts again.
It's okay.
Aw, man.
Dunkaroos were some of my favorites as a kid, and I did not know they were back until I was
So
looking
like
at
30 seconds ago when I freaking told you?
No, until earlier today when I was looking up this stuff.
Oh, okay.
But it was Dunkaroos were probably my favorite snack as a kid because I was portly and it was great. But basically, they were just cookies and icing. That's all it was: cookies and icing. Great,
But like stale cookies and icing.
Like those-
stale cookies and too sugary icing.
like the cookies you used to get in your Happy Meal at McDonald's. That's what they were the same kind of consistency as. Like they weren't chewy
Why am I not
on
remembering?
purpose.
Why am I not remembering those cookies?
It's okay.
Wasn't there some kind of like blue monster thing that McDonald's had?
the purple
ate
one,
those?
Grimace.
Oh yeah, no, I'm thinking the Cookie Monster.
Yeah, no, they were just little cookies in the shapes of all the characters from the McDonald's universe, like the Hamburglar.
Okay. Were they like Teddy Grahams but without the good flavor?
Yep, exactly what
Okay,
they were.
cool.
Was Grimace the butt plug?
Yes.
Okay.
No hesitation.
Unanimous. Like no,
Yep.
that is what he was.
But Dunkaroos.
There was also the butt burglar.
Something like that. It'll pay you on every Tuesday.
Yeah.
They were discontinued in 2012, but they were brought back this year.
Was it this year?
Yep, it was this year. So then you have Fruitopia. Do you remember Fruitopia?
I remember the name. I don't remember what it was.
Fruitopia used to be made by, I believe it was the Coca-Cola company, but it was just like, it was sugar to the max when it comes to like fruit drinks. I think that each bottle had probably 70 grams of sugar in it, and they were just cocaine for kids, man. It's all it was, because you were thinking like, oh, I don't want my kid to have all this caffeine. They shouldn't be, because there was a caffeine craze in the 90s where everybody thought caffeine was going to absolutely kill you dead.
Oh, it still will.
I mean, at the
I ain't dead yet.
how many cups of coffee have we had today?
I haven't had any. I had an energy drink instead, and it was stupid, and I feel like a bad human for it. I need
probably
more
just
hot
feel
brown
bad.
bean in me.
I need some hot brown bean.
I was going to make some earlier, but no one else wanted to drink any.
Well, fine. But Fruitopia was discontinued in 2003, never to be seen again. Another one that recently just got brought back. This was brought back in 2018, but I was actually a part of an online petition for this. We filled it in, of all places for it to be on. It was on one of those websites that is actually for good, that people get on and try to talk about things that they want changed in the government and everything. Change.org. I was a part of a coalition on there to bring back Oreo O's. And we won. They came back in 2018.
You did it!
But they were
Congratulations.
They were discontinued in 2007, and I just remember I love Oreo O's. I still love Oreo O's. They don't taste anything like Oreos, but I love them. They're crunchy chocolate cereal rings, but now they have the double stuffed. So that means you get the chocolate cereal rings with gooey cream marshmallows that are basically just like Lucky Charms marshmallows that are circles. It's amazing.
If we were a real podcast, we would have like a sample of all of these things for us to all now try and see if our nostalgia really caught up to us. So if you at home have any of these things lying around that have been expired for, I don't know, 14 years,
Don't eat it.
send them to us and we'll eat it.
I'm not
No,
scared.
I'm not going to eat food people send to me. Am I?
Or you
Am I
giant
gonna do that?
corporations, why don't you sponsor us?
Yeah, idiots.
Hey, Oreo O's are back, and if I could be sponsored by Nabisco, that would save me a lot of time and effort on figuring out which one of their cookie products I'm going to
Yep,
be
we
eating.
don't see dollar signs. We see endless snack time. That's what we see.
That's
What
better.
would dollar signs be spent on anyway? Snack time.
Exactly.
You don't need money when you got
Cut the
snacks.
middleman and just give me snacks. Squeeze It. Don't know if you remember Squeeze It. There were two. There was Squeeze It. Then
Is that
there
just
was
Go-Gurt?
Nope.
This is a snack.
Squeeze Its and Mondos. They were juice drinks that were in little plastic squeezy bottles, and all you did was just pop the little top off the top, and then just one.
Wax boys.
Yeah, basically, it's just like real squishy, waxy plastic that they were made out of, and you just pop the little tab off the top of it by twisting it off, and you just squeeze and inhale.
Doesn't Kool-Aid still make those?
Jammers or no?
No, Jammers the pack.
You talking about them little
Slammers.
things?
No, not little hugs.
Okay, okay. No. They're like this big. They're like bite size.
No.
No, that's a candy.
No, those are things that still exist.
Okay, then I have no idea what you're
No,
talking about.
these were juice drinks, basically juice drinks inside of like squeezy tubes.
Remember the barrels? Remember those little plastic
Yeah.
barrels
They
that have the
taste
tinfoil lid on
Those
them
are
that you
little
peel
hugs.
I
back?
call them diarrhea in a can.
It's filled with what this is. It's the same liquid.
Yeah,
it's the
pretty
same
much.
liquid.
It was just stronger and darker colored. So, or brighter colored, or more intensely colored, for that matter.
Vivid.
Ooh, vivid.
Snapple Elements. I don't know if y'all remember the Snapple
No,
Elements.
you got some deep cuts right now. I don't know.
Snapple Elements, they had 4 flavors. They had Earth, Rain, Sun, and Fire.
Drink Earth. Do it.
But
Avatar.
this was brought out in the time that Sobe was starting to come out, and they had all of their fruit cocktail drinks that mimicked all these different alcoholic beverages that were, of course, without alcohol. But, that's what the same thing tried to happen with Snapple. They tried to take that same kind of sugary fruit drink mixture and bring it out. And it just, it was a hit, but it didn't really stick. Just because Snapple's known for, fruit drinks. Like fruit. Here's fruit with sugar in a drink. Or their teas or whatever. But do you guys have any stuff like that? Like things that you remember eating from your childhood that just don't exist anymore?
I'm
Dirt.
sure I do.
I ate dirt when I was they had to. No, really, when I was little, they had to move my little playpen thing because I kept reaching my hand over the edge of it and eating the dirt out of the plant in the living room, and I loved it. It was so good. And I couldn't stop, so they had to move it, and they had to make me stop eating dirt. I didn't eat like wild dirt outside. Wild dirt
you
was
had that hydroponic dirt.
Yeah, I was the kind of kid that didn't like to be dirty, but as far as like ingesting it from indoors, like
So it's domesticated dirt.
domesticated dirt, exactly.
So you
I
had
wasn't
pica.
a monster.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you had pica.
yeah, I wasn't a monster.
French toast crunch.
They just brought that back too.
Are you serious?
Yep, they just brought that back as well.
Oh my god.
I'm telling you, that made my list. Like, it was on my list. But I actually remembered it being in the store the last time I was there, and I was this close, but I'm holding my fingers just centimeters apart.
Yeah, because we're an audio medium.
Yes.
We're starting to get it.
Yes. So
Wait,
I was...
They can't see us?
No,
Why am I wearing pants?
they can't. Sorry. Huh? I don't know. That's a good question.
I'm not wearing pants. This was amazing.
But
we did
that's-
tell you that was part of the rules.
But it's,
Oh.
that was a delicious cereal, and I will actually purchase a box of that now that I know that it is back on the shelves. But when I originally saw it, it was on the Walmart app while I was ordering food for while I had COVID, and I couldn't have tasted it, so what's the point? I remember these tasting like little pieces of cardboard.
Cardboard. Remember the Beyonce song where she said that in it?
Cardboard.
Remember that?
Or is it
Part of that-
surfboard?
I try to steer clear of
Bianchi.
Yonky.
Bianchi.
Yonky. Her Lemonade had some bops. That's not innuendo. She had an album called Lemonade. It had some bops.
What are we?
Little Caesars used to have a very long pizza. I remember that as a kid. I can't remember.
Little
remember.
Caesars used to be all
I
different.
think it was called the Monster Pizza or something like that. It was probably like 4 feet long and a pizza. Awesome.
The thing is, like, this changing of the length of the pizza is not going to change the flavor of the pizza.
Yeah. But
It's just going to make it harder to fit on a table.
Little Caesars used to not be that hot and ready cheap pizza, though. It used to be better pizza.
I just had hot and ready cheap pizza. That was one of my favorites that I've had in a while.
That was the heart attack version of the Extra Most Bestest pizza. That's different than just their base model.
So today,
welcome.
simultaneously, in the same moments of me wanting to order pizza, you taught me of what the awesome most bestest
The
pizza
extra most
is.
bestest.
Extra most bestest, what that is. And then Tiny told me about what the heart attack version of a pizza there is. And that's actually what you ask for. And they soak the whole thing in garlic butter and more Parmesan. And it's amazing.
I'm going to eat some more of it here in a little while once
I'm
it's cooled
not.
off.
I am miserable right now from eating half of it.
It's up to you, man.
You sound miserable.
Power-
Sound like you're
power
holding
through.
back a floodgate of tears right now.
I am. It's awful. But I am going to hold back a floodgate of tears until you tell me what you brought to the table today to talk about on the podcast during your turn.
Oh. This chair is really getting
It's a
on my
creaker,
nerves.
and I'm sorry.
It's okay. Because hobbits are real.
I am not chiming on that one.
No, I don't think I will either.
Small guys, hairy feet. I seen one of them today.
He's on our podcast. I'd like to introduce everybody to our local hobbit, Marcus. I am Electric Man.
Go on.
No. So there's this, I guess what you'd call it is I don't know what you call it. I think maybe proto-human is maybe what they call it.
Isn't that
I'm
Mega
no
Man?
anthropologist.
That's Mega Man's brother.
Maybe. Anyway, see, this is why I need this. It's a species that's it's kind of the nickname is they've nicknamed it hobbit. The people who've discovered this new species of human kind of nicknamed it hobbit, but it's Flores man is like they just named it after where they found it. But then the people who like study it call them hobbits. So I
Flores
just thought that
Man.
was cool. Mm-hmm. So
That's the dumbest superhero name I've ever heard.
Right.
no, so about it says they went extinct about 50,000 to 100,000 years ago. So this would be a really, really long time ago. But they were like this species that was like about 3 foot tall, and apparently had come there. They only exist on this island out in Indonesia or something like that, and the timeline of it doesn't really match up all that well because something to do with the Ice Age. Like at that time, the ice would have been. Oh my God!
You can do this.
I'm no
You can do
anthropologist.
this. You're
y'all.
doing so well.
Give it your best.
I'm trying.
Fake it till you make. You know it's in the key of C. What's the next chord, brother?
Yeah. You can do this.
Yeah,
It's a G.
So yeah, what I found interesting about it was that we actually named them hobbits in a way. So it's really not the point to me to tell you all about how they got here and everything. I think that the story is interesting, but I just think it's cool that our scientists are nerds too, and that they take things that they find, like these ancient, long dead species, and name them after hobbits, you know? And actually, one of my favorite metal bands, Between the Bear to Me, has a fossil named after them.
Between the Bear to Me?
Between the Buried and Me.
Oh, okay. I thought
Yeah.
I heard Between the Bear.
I heard the bear in me.
Yeah, the Bear and Me. Between the Bear and Me. This isn't working out.
And you or in you? The bear and you or in you? Two very
I
different
don't know.
connotations.
Yeah.
Ooh, the bear
I think it's,
in me.
what was the name of the ranger in Yogi? Yogi in the
Yosemite Sam.
Yosemite Sam, the ranger man?
About
Is
to
that
blow
what-
his stack.
I'm about to blow my stack.
That's something that he says in a newer version of Looney Tunes.
It's awesome. It's amazing.
I never heard that phrase before, and
Were
whenever
we sleep deprived or something?
I
Because
think
it's really
we lost it.
we couldn't breathe. I don't know.
What are we talking about? Hobbitses? Okay, so they discovered the like remains or the existence of this form of human.
It's a species that is in the same evolutionary tree as humans.
Okay.
So, like, you
Right.
know, Neanderthal,
Right.
Homo naledi, Homo
erectus.
erectus, all
Yeah.
you know, all these except Homo. I believe some of those species would be a little taller than we are, but this species was small.
Neander
And,
shorts.
Neander short.
Also known as chubbies.
But no, they yeah, so they were just like really small people.
Yeah.
And but you only find them on this island, and they don't really know, you know, how they got there because of the Ice Age. Like something to do with the Ice Age would not have allowed them to get there at a certain point, so they had to have been capable of like traveling by water. So
They could have
You
had
know.
boats.
right.
We
So
don't
that's
know.
what they're saying.
Interessante.
Yeah, because and you know, who knows how long they'd been there since then. So it's like species that are on an island can actually shrink or get bigger over the generations.
And over hundreds of thousands of years, couldn't the land have moved from a different location at the same time? Couldn't a current have taken that island farther away and put it in a different
It
part
probably
of the world?
could, but I mean, they pretty much know like pretty much where like the modern continents would have been, like back to so many hundreds of millions of years ago.
I'm trying to think of something else that they've like that you've heard them discover and like named it something after fiction.
Yeah,
to
I mean,
make
I'm
it
sure
real,
happens all the
but
time. But
there's got to be a
Me
unicorn,
being-
right? I mean, unicorn is not that crazy
well,
of a
Komodo
thing.
dragon, you know, there's dragons
Dragon,
that
yeah.
actually exist,
Right.
But they're not dragons that we read about.
Horses. Horses are dragons to me. Get me around a horse, and it might as well be a dragon. I'm that afraid of it. They are too smart. They're too large. They're too powerful. I'm just a man.
I get it. They're shifty. It's all
Yeah.
in the eyes.
Well, they're massive and they have brains.
They could bite your fingers off.
If they don't
I
want
need my
you,
fingers.
if they don't want you near them or on them, they can make that happen to where you are no longer doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not a big boy, and they scare me. They're beautiful, just like a dragon would be, but I don't want to be on him or near him. I'll say hello. I might kiss him, just a little smooch. Maybe rub his nose. Maybe brush his tail.
Are we still talking about dragons or horses?
I think I forgot. I think I put them together. I don't know. I started thinking about unicorns too. Because
Unicorns have to exist.
why wouldn't they? It's just a horse with a horn.
Also sparkly, and they fly.
That's a Pegasus.
Same difference. It has a
No,
horn.
don't do that.
I did it.
do that.
Don't tell me not
Don't
to
you
do
come
it.
on this show as one of our best friends and tell me there's no difference between a Pegasus and a unicorn.
One has buffalo wings, one doesn't.
One has Pegasus wings.
I'm really
Buffaloes
confused.
don't have wings.
Then what do we eat, Dane? What are we eating?
Those are called Buffaguses.
Oh,
It's a Buffagus.
That's a Buffagus.
Yeah, you
I was
idiot.
so confused.
It's actually wings from the Buffagus, but they don't want you to know that.
I'm the worst chef of all time.
Yeah, you really are.
Narwhals. They're actually unicorns.
And apparently
It's just
their
a tooth.
horn is a tooth that's jutting out of their forehead.
Hard to eat with.
Yeah. Why? How was a narwhal real and not a unicorn?
It doesn't seem like a unicorn would be that far-fetched.
It's just not even that, like...
Well, here's the thing. What evolutionary purpose does that little horn coming out of a horse's head serve?
Mating rituals. Not for anything to be on it or it being in something. Sorry,
Well,
children.
Actually,
They
yeah,
used
well,
to
think
touch
about
tips.
No, it's just a display of grandeur. It's
think
all
about
it
a
is.
rhino, like there are animals that kind of have that.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying like, if the right evolutionary, what do you call it? Like
Step?
circumstances existed, you could potentially get one.
I think if they weren't as domesticated...
Plus, just because they don't exist, haven't already existed, doesn't mean that one day they won't.
Right.
We could be in the
It's
age.
going to be a billion years from now.
No, the evolutions can happen overnight. It's a development that happens over a long time, and it just so happens that you're a part of it when it happens. That's cool.
I mean, like mutations.
Yeah, that's what evolution is, just a mutation that carries
Right.
on into the next generation. So, we could be alive in the age of unicorns.
But but the survival of that species depends on that mutation. Like if that mutation could be a bad one, like it could be one that does not allow them to survive better. So like, a bunch of bears are born in the Arctic. The black ones don't make it. The white ones survive. You see what I'm saying? The ones that blend into their environment.
I'm uncomfortable with the way
Yeah,
you're speaking.
I don't
right now.
like how...
I don't like how we.
Black
I'm saying
bears,
I
that the
like where
ones
this-
that blend into their environment better are the ones that are better hunters. They get more food. They have more offspring. Those offspring are more successful than the ones who don't blend into their environment.
But this is the modern age.
Oh
And do you think-
Don't turn this around on me.
Do you think that a unicorn could happen, occurring naturally, and not be kept alive and overly bred into a population of something that exists now? That's exactly what would happen. It would happen, and they would continue breeding that one specific one.
Right, but you're talking about artificial evolution. I'm talking about natural selection.
Doesn't mean that it didn't happen. I mean,
No,
it can
it
happen
doesn't.
naturally and then selectively be bred into the population. That's
Now we're
exactly.
talking about bread.
That's how buffaloes exist again.
All I'm trying to
bread.
say is, if I feel like their friendship would be magic.
What?
Unicorns. If you was friends with a unicorn, it would be the most magical friendship of all time.
Except if your unicorn had like an extra chromosome that made him grow that
Extra magical.
that horn, and then you just got the most angry, violent, just can't control anything with a stabby on its forehead.
I would love her and call her Jeffrey.
Yeah, what if unicorns were evil? Here's the thing. Like, people that don't believe in the possibility of aliens or something, like, I don't know. I don't really tend to believe that kind of stuff. It's like, okay, hold on, though. Giant lizards ruled the world. But you don't believe in the possibility of aliens? And that's kind of fits in with the Hobbit, topic here, is that, like, yeah, people think it's goofy and it's funny. Like, obviously the Lord of the Rings movies, books, they, criticize them however you want. I'm not saying anything about that. I'm just saying people try to, like, or some people who don't like fantasy or sci-fi, it's because they don't want to suspend their disbelief. Like, oh, that's just a bunch of made up stuff. You know what I mean? But it's like, no, there really were 3-foot tall people that existed
And aliens
and had
do
stone
exist.
tools and fire. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All I'm saying is, to wrap up your topic, to take control of it, to own it as
Yes.
my own topic.
Please.
To own it in this moment.
Do it.
Whoever came up with a unicorn was very lazy.
My topic was not the unicorn, just for the record. Go ahead.
Somewhat, or was it? Now it might have been.
Well, if you keep misleading our listeners,
Maybe
into that,
somebody just kind of zoned out for a little while, and then they're like, "What are they talking about?" Must have been unicorns.
There you go.
Who was able to take that idea? That's a good pitch. That's a good salesman. They slapped a horn on a horse and said, "Here's the most magical creature anyone's ever going to imagine ever."
And it
if
stuck.
you put wings on it, it's no longer that, and it's something totally different.
I don't
And it's
know.
stuck.
I
And it's
still think
everywhere.
dragon is better
And it's
than
on
unicorn.
everything. Well, yeah.
Dragons
So too.
Dragons existed a long time, I think, before unicorns did.
Probably.
I kind of want to slap a plunger on a donkey's head.
Not even nothing to do with the conversation.
Is
It
our
would make it a
ASMR
unicorn.
No.
I purple lined it at that point.
Oh man. Let's be done with this. Oh.
In this abomination.
For the record, hobbits, not unicorns. That's what you're getting at.
Well, I don't really know what I was getting at.
So it was unicorns. We knew it.
Y'all just make me come with a topic every time. And so I do.
That sounds very intimidating to
I
other
like
people.
it. Okay, everybody, listen to us on the thing you're listening to us now with, on your phone, in your computer, and on your car. In your car. When you're in your car, listen to us on it while you're in it. And then you can go to the Twitter where we don't have fleets, we just do tweets. And it's Nerd Grapevine. Go to @Nerd Grapevine there. Do it. Go now and do that. And then you can go on Instagram and you can do that there too. The same as you do it on the Twitter one. Our website isn't working. Don't go there. Do not go there. What you're going to find if you go there is very dangerous. It's terrifying. And I don't know what lies beyond the veil of
404 error.
bestfriendstinyinc.com. I don't know what is there. Do not go there. I get to do this to you.
I knew it.
Yeah. Hey, Tiny. When life gives you grapes.
You rub it till a genie comes.
Gross.
How many wishes does he give?
He doesn't need one now.
Made of grapes.